Knowing another language is the best skill to complement with building a business. Whether you wish to pursue dropshipping, SMMA, Amazon FBA, to building any type of business, learn another language. As a polyglot myself, fluent in various languages, I've experienced firsthand how linguistic proficiency can elevate any business. It has helped me generate substantial revenue streams, surpassing tens of thousands of dollars a month. With language proficiency, you gain limitless potential to connect with diverse markets, forge genuine relationships, and uncover untapped opportunities. In this video, I'll be teaching you how you can use your language skills in building a successful business in any industry that will make you rich. Look, no matter how exceptional your products or services may be, if your business isn't effectively marketed, you won't attract customers. Equally crucial, generating sufficient revenue to sustain your business growth and viability. That's where sales come in. Luckily, your language abilities are the most effective in marketing and sales. First, let's dive headfirst into the realm of marketing. I operate a specialized marketing agency called Future Cut Media that assists furniture stores with their digital advertising. And let's be honest, my services really aren't unique at all. The SMMA, the social media marketing agency industry, is undeniably saturated. On one hand, I'm competing with large, well-established marketing agencies with extensive resources, and on the other hand, I'm competing against very affordable marketeers from India. Despite these formidable odds, I'm not only managed to survive but thrive in this competitive landscape. The key to my success lies in me leveraging my language skills in innovative ways, granting me a distinct edge. My language abilities have given me two powerful competitive advantages in the crowded marketing agency space. Firstly, my ability to offer marketing services in multiple languages have proved to be a game changer. I recognized early on the significant Spanish-speaking furniture store owners that were needing marketing help, but no one was helping them. I realized there was virtually no competition here. While every marketing agency was out there competing with one another to try to get a piece of the pie in the English market, no one was marketing to the Spanish-speaking furniture store owners. I became the sole marketing agency owner catering to this demographic of Spanish-speaking furniture store owners thanks to my language skills. And look, most of the Spanish-speaking furniture store owners also spoke English. It's a must for doing business in America. But the reality is, although they could speak English, they felt more comfortable in their native language because they were Latin American people. They felt more comfortable. They knew how to joke around. They knew how to negotiate better in Spanish. And whenever I offered them my services, they felt better understood because I could speak to them on a personal level, on a one-on-one level in their language. Only in Spanish could they fully express themselves. This gave me a ton of business. The second thing that gave me a competitive advantage was being able to offer my services to my clients in multiple languages. This meant I can run their ads not only in English, but also in Spanish. This way they maximize their sales potential. Now look, most of the furniture store owners that I work with don't speak Spanish, but the sales rep in the showroom does. I leverage my language capabilities to run my clients' ads in Spanish as well. This approach enabled them to effectively target diverse markets in their city looking for furniture, maximizing their sales potential and impact beyond English-speaking markets. And in certain cities, I actually put more emphasis in running ads in Spanish than English. For example, Miami. I would put a bigger budget and bigger emphasis in trying to target the Spanish-speaking population in Miami because I knew there was a bigger ROI there because no one was targeting them. So my clients in big Spanish-speaking populations would thrive. Because I was able to help my furniture store clients market themselves in multiple languages, they would love me because I was able to help them maximize their sales potential. And no other marketing agency would offer this. No other agency would offer marketing services in multiple languages. Think about this for a second, guys. Let's say you're a business owner that sells products or services. Just by marketing your business in a different language, you could expand your sales potential by 1,000% or even more. For example, do you sell pressure washing services? Well, guess what? The French-speaking Africans also need their driveway pressure washed. Yes, you can convince them in English, but nothing beats speaking to them in their language. Your chance of conversion is much higher in their native language rather than in English. Are you a personal trainer in the San Francisco area? San Francisco has a huge Chinese population. Imagine if you expanded your services in Chinese. Now you wouldn't be a broke trainer anymore. Now you don't have to be fluent in the language. It's the effort that counts. The Chinese people will feel appreciated, understood by you speaking to them in their language. Let's say you had a brick and mortar store selling any type of item. If you had a sales rep that could speak another language, you could double your sales potential in your store. Why limit yourself to English? It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Knowing another language will help you tremendously. For example, let's say you're considering launching a dropshipping or Amazon FBA business, where the strategy involves sourcing cost-effective labor and goods from countries like China and reselling these goods for a profit in the USA. Typically, for a dropship or Amazon FBA business, platforms like Alibaba and AliExpress AliExpress are the place where you source your goods, but they often involve a middleman rather than direct access to the factory. This middleman primarily exists due to language barriers. Many factory personnel in China is not fluent in English, but what if you mastered Mandarin Chinese? There would be no need for a middleman. You can just go to China, directly to the source, and get factory prices, the real price. And best of all, with language skills, you don't have to limit yourself to a single market. The American market is super saturated for obvious reasons, but with your language skills, you could expand your business to all over the world and enter markets where there's virtually no competition. I will give you one piece of advice though. Learning another language has no point if you also don't put in the effort to understand its people. Think of a language as a tool of communication, but understanding the culture is equally as essential. My success in marketing services in different languages stem not from just speaking to them in their language, but also understanding the cultural nuances between us. Understanding their mindset, their values, their interests enabled me to tailor my approach more effectively. Fluency in the language isn't always necessary. What truly matters is a deep understanding of the people you're engaging with. Speaking another language helps with marketing, but understanding the culture helps with sales. So let's talk about sales now and the impact cultural understanding has a play in it. On top of owning a marketing agency, I also own a furniture flipping business. I resell furniture. Think of it as retail arbitrage. I buy low and sell high. After being in business for many years, I'd say about 80% of my clientele is made up of minority groups. I have understood the art of selling to Latinos, to Africans, to Asians. When a French-speaking African is interested in buying a piece of furniture from me, I not only speak to them in their language, but I also engage in small talk. My goal with the small talk is making them feel comfortable. I ask them questions about their homeland. And this is the key. I've done my studying. I'm very familiar with African countries. For example, if they tell me they're from Cameroon, I pretend to think for a second and tell them, Yaoundé is your capital, right? And they always have a face of shock because no one ever knows anything about their home country. It makes them feel special. And I always do a bit more small talk on their country. And they always have a face of shock because they can't believe someone in rural USA knows something about their country. It amazes them. It disarms them. And in sales, this is important. I also know that haggling is the norm in Africa, so I don't get offended when they throw a lowball offer at me. I counter back. Another big thing that I do is I talk to minority groups differently. If I'm speaking to a Mexican, I mold my approach to them. I talk about soccer, I talk about the American dream, I talk about family back in Latin America. I talk about the things that I effectively talk about all the time. So when the time comes to buy a couch, they're more likely to buy with me and no one else because they felt understood. My clients have endless options. People don't buy from me because my prices or my quality of furniture is much more superior than anybody else's. They buy from me because they trust me. People buy things with emotion and later justify it with logic. The reason I'm able to sell so much furniture to minority groups is because I'm the only one able to understand them. Let's say you're a dating coach and you're trying to keep the Japanese population afloat, so you give dating advice to young Japanese men. Yes, speaking Japanese is important, but understanding them is even more important. If you're going to be selling dating advice to Japanese men, understand that they're not the most romantic for a reason. They are introverts and their culture brought them up that way. You can't use the same principles, the same trainings for training an American man to get girls as if you were training a Japanese man. They both think differently. They both react to the world differently. If you're going to be selling pressure washing services to French-speaking Africans, understand that haggling is part of their being, part of their culture. So don't be offended if an African starts haggling on your fixed price. Now look, by no means do you have to be fluent in another language. As long as they feel understood, they will buy from you and no one else. That's how the best salesmen do it. They first enter with an area of empathy and understanding. Then once a potential customer opens up, they go for that sale. So don't think for a second that learning another language will solve your sales issue. If you're bad at selling in English, chances are pretty high that you're gonna suck also selling in a different language. So make sure if you're gonna use your language skills or learn another language, to keep in mind that you should also learn the cultural nuances to be more effective at selling. Drop a comment down below with your business type, and I'll provide you with an idea of which languages could complement your endeavor perfectly. Now, on the other hand, if you wish to hear me speak in multiple languages, just click on the videos here on the side. Hopefully, entertain you.